Hey guys, this is Tracy Lynn Cruz, also known as Ashley the Yellow Ranger from Power Rangers Turbo and Power Rangers in Space. I want to welcome you to the Power Morphicon Angel Grove High School Prom. I'm looking forward to seeing you all. It's going to be fabulous. Dress up, and we'll see you then.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Let's try that again. Hey, guys, welcome to Henshin Hangout, where we talk about Kamen Rider Build and Lupinranger VS Patranger.
That's right.
Patranger. Yeah.
Welcome back. We are all going to be talking about episode 4 of Lupinranger VS Patranger and episode 25.
But before we get
Kamen Rider Build.
Before we get into that, let us do some housekeeping stuff. Over above or to the right of Justin over here, we have the boss bar. Now, the boss bar, as you can see, Larry Newbill is winning right now. If you can knock Larry Newbill out by undisclosed time, then you will get a weekend pass to Power Morphicon and get your hands on that Bandai exclusive Lord Draken figure. That's it's going to be very limited. Also, we have a TeePublic store where you can get all your geek shirts, your geek merchandise. You can get shirts, you can get mugs, you can get iPhone cases, everything. They have it on our TeePublic store. We have a bunch of different designs. We have Doctor Who, Star Wars, Power Rangers. We have some Marvel shirts, and of course, we have our hashtag shirt. So be sure to check that out. There will be a sale next week, so it's going to knock the price down from $20 to $14. And lastly, we have the THS Hashtaggers. It's a Facebook group where you guys can join and communicate with all the hashtaggers in the hashtag community. And you guys could even coordinate your hotel ordeals that you have. Like you guys know each other pretty well, so you guys can coordinate and share a hotel, split the cost, and make it a little bit cheaper for you to spend time with us over at Power Morphicon 2018. One more thing we have that super chat button. The super chat button is going to help support the show. It helps keep the lights on. It helps, we take that and we put it back into the show and up the production value. So it goes back to you. So if you feel willing, you can hit that super chat button. It'll highlight your comment, and because the chat will be going pretty quickly. So it'll keep your comment up there a little longer if you want us to read what it is. So, Justin, how are you doing today?
Doing good, man. These are some really good episodes of the show. At
Yes.
some point, I'm going to say this is going to suck. But until that day comes, I've really enjoyed these 2 episodes of the show. Are we going to let's start with Lupinranger vs. Patranger
Yeah, we
episode
can start
4?
with Lupinranger vs. Patranger.
Lupinranger vs. Patranger episode 4, titled, I got it, don't worry, Unacceptable Relationship. Before we go into the review of the episode, let's see who's in the chat right now. We got
Thomas Franco, Lint, Jared, Edward Sanchez, Layla, Alan, Crab Stomp. I've never seen that name before.
Hi, Crab Stomp.
And yeah, that's everybody so far. So be sure to share this page out to, or this YouTube link out to anybody that you know likes Super Sentai or Kamen Rider, so they could join in on the fun.
Yes. Okay, so episode 4 of the show is kind of an episode I've been waiting for.
For the Patrangers.
Exactly. Right now, the first 3 episodes, they've been very heavy on the Lupinrangers.
Yes.
I understand why.
And this episode, barely any Lupinrangers.
Well, and that's what's cool about it. It's the thing that I was worried we weren't going to get, but thankfully, episode 4, we're going to finally do some attention, give some attention to the Patrangers.
Yep.
And what was really cool here is establishing the long-term relationship between Pat Ichigo and Pat Sango.
So they got a little rivalry going.
A little bit of it's definitely older sister. It's like brother sister.
You think so?
I think so. I think it's very much like brother sister relationship, because the way she describes her relationship is like I've always had to deal with him since Academy. So it's more like I know how to handle him. I know how to take care of him when he gets too mad at stuff.
His little pissy fits and his angry face.
Yeah. And so that's kind of nice. We got a little backstory and pointing out one of the cool things about Pat Sango is that she's cool. She's probably the most capable member of the team.
She's probably the most balanced out of the three.
Yeah.
You got the green one who's kind of aloof. He's a little out there.
Yeah.
And you got the Red Ranger who's a little uptight, and it's gonna start affecting the way he tries to lead the team.
Yeah, no, he's your classic kind of like, hot-blooded, uptight,
stick up your butt.
Yeah, no, exactly. So with her is like, she is definitely the one where it's like, she has her stuff together. But as we learned in this episode, everyone's got their weaknesses. Everyone's got their
little things that they have to do. They all have history.
Yeah, and a little eccentric kind of things. And so we learned out about her in this episode. And I think it's kind of cool how we found out about it in this episode. It's actually done pretty organically into the storyline, because it's actually part of the main plot.
Yes.
So we started the episode with them investigating.
Is that child abduction?
It seems like a child abduction, but there have been plenty of like disappearances that aren't making a lot of sense because there's no evidence,
no breaking in, nothing. There's no sign of any struggle or anything. So they're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, and that's kind of the first sign. We get we get the idea that okay, they're checking around the room of the current missing child. And we do notice that Tsukasa is the name of the
kid?
Pink. Pink,
yeah.
Yes. Tsukasa's name of Pink. And so she catches a glimpse of a stuffed shark.
Oh, it's a shark? Okay.
Yeah, a stuffed shark. And don't worry about that. Now, she catches a glimpse of a stuffed shark, and it's kind of hinted that she probably suspects something about the shark. That's what
it looks like she. It looks like she looked at it. The camera stayed on it for a little bit.
Yeah.
But from when I first watched it, I was thinking, did she have a connection to that shark? Like what was that connection to it? Because she looked at it. There's no reason for her, because the room was kind of it was a kid's room. So
right.
It's supposed to be a mess.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it seems like. Is like you said, like what's the connection with her and this shark?
Yeah.
We then get to the next scene where they're kind of driving down, and she catches a car that's just full of the stuffed sharks on sale, and she reacts. She gets out of the car, and the rest of the guys suspect, is this you, Tsukasa? Are you assuming this is further? Are you finding connections between what just happened and the stuffed shark? And she's kind of very much like, yeah. That's that. Yeah.
Everything just kind of falls right into her lap, and she can run with it.
And so we do see like another unassuming guy who's like selling the toys.
Yeah, creepy guy.
Creepy dude. And that's when the Lupin Rangers show up, and again they show up with like 8 pounds of swagger every time.
They're just chilling on the roof.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't see them when they're walking up to the guy, so you know that they're somewhere off, and then they kind of just come out there and it's like, let's just like, we gotta get all set up and look all cool. So when they look,
that's kind of my favorite thing about them, is just them going like, okay, so I'm gonna stand like here, you're gonna stand like here.
Yeah, you gotta spread yourself. Now you gotta.
Blue's always in the back,
definitely.
just kind of like putting his arms like this.
Yeah.
Looking
all moody and pissed off at everything.
Exactly. And that's when it's kind of the thing. I forgot that they did this in episode 1, but the idea that the Ganglers can have kind of like a human form, but the Lupin Rangers have a way to deactivate the human form. So Lupin Red throws a card, cuts the salesman's face, and we find out he is a Gangler, a big old red shark, goes by the name of...
He kind of looked like the stuffed toy.
Kind of looked like the stuffed toy, and he goes by the name of Love Room Jaws.
Yeah, that was a weird name. That's definitely a weird name.
Yeah.
So how do you think they know? Do they see him transform into that human?
It seems like whatever the Lupin Rangers do in terms of their intel from the butler character,
the shady butler guy.
The shady butler guy is that they seem to like basically. It seems like he has this much information. It's like it's possibly this guy.
Here's a little picture of the guy you're looking for. He's going to turn into this.
Yeah.
So he has all the information, but they never question why.
Yeah, never question why, and so they have to kind of. So that's their deal, right? In this case, is them kind of like, okay, they're already investigating this stuff, but already the Pat Rangers are there, and they're pointing out the fact that they're there because there have been missing people cases. And they just want to find the connection. Lupin Yellow hears that.
Yep. They go off and they start fighting, and then the Lupin Rangers decide to just bounce, leave. Yellow Ranger, she kind of hangs back a little bit because she hears that the police are trying to do something, try to find these kids, trying to solve this crime.
Right.
And her being her, she knows they initially have the same goal.
Right.
To help people, to stop the ganglers, so they have the same goal. They all have the right intentions. It's just they're going about it two different tracks.
Right.
So the Yellow Ranger instead of going off with her team right away, she stands back and she lets them know, oh well, there's been other people missing, and there's no, she gives them a little hint.
She basically gives, the information she had is that, like, okay, so apparently the word is that a gangler has the ability to turn things into decorations.
Yeah, which will help a lot.
Right. And so that's the big intel the Pat Rangers need it. And they're actually, I kind of like the fact that Pat Nego was like, she actually told us.
They were surprised. They're surprised by it because, they're on opposite sides of the law.
Right.
And it kind of makes them think maybe they're not so bad.
No, and I think that's kind of already the thing about the show and how the two characters are going to have to interact with each other is the idea that like you said, it's like there's going to be they're basically going after the same thing, but they're going at it differently. But that doesn't mean one side of the team doesn't have a way to help the other side of the team a little bit. And especially in this case, Lupin Yellow we find out that because we go back to the bistro, that Lupin Yellow, the reason she told them is that like, isn't that what we're doing this for? Wouldn't we like to have an edge to help someone find the people we are missing?
Yep. And this is the second episode that she has been like the moral compass or the the person to rationalize everything that they're doing.
Yes. No. And it's kind of cool. Like, that's how I like how established their relationship is. Is that Lupin Red kind of again teases her and kind of at first and kind of like, how should we put a zipper in your mouth? And once she points out that's her reasoning, it's like, I get it. Yeah, you don't have to explain anymore. I understand.
And that's a sign of a good leader. Of like, I mean, you can joke around a little, but just understanding where everybody's coming from.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go into the comments for a little bit.
Okay. What we got here? So, Crab Stomp adds, it's odd seeing a shark plushie with a school uniform. Hey, you know what? I mean, like, if it sells. I've seen like Anime Expo. There's a bunch of those. Llamas with different clothes on.
Alpacas?
Alpacas, yeah. They have a bunch of different alpacas. Yeah, so that's not too weird.
Not too weird. I can school uniform shark. Sure.
I think the weirder thing is the name of the villain. That's probably the weirdest thing.
Love Room Jaws. I think we're all ignoring the fact that the shark is named Love Room Jaws.
That sounds like a very scandalous.
Like it's
shark.
Isn't like in Japan aren't love rooms right? So like, is there a Jaws themed love room that's like shaped like Quint's boat in Jaws? If so, let me know. I would like to see those pictures. But
that kind of goes with your little
That's true. I do have a Spielberg podcast, so there lies a little bit of an interest in there.
You're a little intrigued.
I'm a little intrigued. Like, tell me more. We also got Lupinranger vs. Patranger is a good one so far. Yeah. I'd like to see with a Japanese school uniform. Oh, sorry. Womp.
Layla says Lupinranger vs. Patranger is like Deca Ranger versus Gokaiger.
Definitely brought that up. Yeah. I definitely caught that in episode 1, and
they have the same. They have the same kind of demeanor each.
No, it's and I think therein lies like the fun element of the shows. Like if you're a big fan of both shows,
So you think they like? Oh, they like Deca Ranger, they like Gokaiger. Let's make a show with that kind of style.
100%. Yeah. Because especially the fact that if you guys don't know, Deca Ranger is one of the few Sentai shows to even be considered to get a second season.
Really?
Due to how popular the show was. They generally do like, all right, one season of the show, then we'll do another season. But Deca Ranger is so popular, they did consider, well, what if we just do another one? And Gokaiger was kind of the last really popular Sentai show, and that was now 6-7 years ago. So I get it, and the two concepts fit.
It makes sense.
Especially because there was an episode of Gokaigers where they did meet the Deca Rangers. They were gonna get arrested by them, so it totally makes sense.
And they brought back Deca Ranger again for What was the other season that they did?
Was they brought back Deca for
Q-Ranger, yeah.
Which was great. Thomas Franco asks, Jezzer, what's your favorite Super Sentai question? Oh, I'm sorry. What's your favorite Super Sentai series? My bad.
A series?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It would probably have to be Gingamon. I think I answered that. We asked that question a few streams ago.
Okay.
It's mainly because of the horses.
That's right.
Remember the
we
horses?
Talked about the horses.
Yeah, where they had armor. It kind of reminded me of like King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. The way the horses had like the little special armor on top of their heads. That's what it reminded me of. That's why I like that one.
That's true. Yeah. They have a big old like tree mentor,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like a basically if Zordon was a tree.
And they had kind of like this. It was a little bit of a medieval like motif, a little aesthetic, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I like the horses. I think that was the best part because you hardly ever see Power Rangers riding in on horses.
No, I kind of no.
Has there been another Sentai where they rode horses?
Not like regularly. You know what I mean?
Regularly,
like I know there was I think Dynaman had a character on a horse for the first episode, but I think we should have like a horseback.
And it only made sense with the Super Sentai counterpart of Magna Defender on a horse. You know?
Oh yeah.
He had like a cape. It's just you need for a Lost Galaxy. At least he needed to be on a horse.
He got some flair on that horse.
Yeah,
he does
exactly.
And to talk about my favorite Sentai series, it's Gokaiger. I'm a big pusher of Shinkenger as like if that's your first show, but I feel like Gokaiger is like it's like the sample show.
So you wouldn't start off with Gokaiger?
Hell no.
Why is that?
I think you have to. I feel like you have to try a show that's kind of. I feel like you have to do a show that doesn't have a gimmick like Gokaiger.
Yeah.
Gokaiger, I love the show, but I think like. That show works because it's kind of... that show works, but the intrigue is that the gimmick of you get to meet all these other Sentais. But I feel like it would be better if you can get into a show that doesn't have such a strong gimmick like that, like a Shinkenger or a Gingaman.
Yeah. That's
just a solid show that relies on its own concept. The thing I personally believe about Gokaiger is that even if you took out the Ranger keys and the idea that you can turn into every single Super Sentai team, is that... It's a good show about that. It's just a good show. It's about a pirate
it's
team.
Good show, and you got the cast is just
on point.
Yes.
So that's my personal.
To the point where they brought back the Yellow Ranger for Q-Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so moving on to the episode again. So we say so right now the Pat Rangers are now basically grabbing up all the stuffed sharks.
Yep.
All the stuffed sharks and realizing that's connection.
Because technically, those could all be children.
Right, children or adults, or etc.
Someone that's missing.
Someone is missing.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the wild thing about the investigation is that, like, all right, so we know the stuffed sharks are the connection. We just don't know how. And it's funny. There's a pretty good scene with Jim Carter and Hilltop, where Jim Carter, the robot, is kind of loses function because it doesn't know how to solve the problem.
I don't know about you, but I'm not really a big fan of Jim Carter.
No,
it's just an out of place kind of character.
Yeah,
kind of takes away a little bit from the show.
I think right now I'm gonna wait on Jim Carter.
You're gonna wait a little bit.
Like it's not my favorite character.
Yeah, because I want a little bit more of Hilltop. I feel like he has.
I agree.
He's a mysterious type of dude that even though he's the police chief or whatever, but I feel like he has some other little skeletons in the closet that need to be exposed.
Me and my friend have a theory about Commander Hilltop is that we think Commander Hilltop is actually actually kind of like a big Japanese culture enthusiast.
Okay.
And the reason we started suspecting that is like, well, it's minor things. They never address it in the show, but it's small things like, oh, he has a bonsai tree on his desk. Oh, he's got a samurai armor in the back.
For no reason at all.
No reason at all.
And that makes sense. There are a few African Americans in Japan that they get there by means of like military or work, and they stay there because they love the culture so much.
No.
So that type of character makes sense that they would include something like that.
So you feel like that kind of checks out.
That kind of checks out. I mean, Japan is pretty diverse as far as like different ethnicities over there. They just, I mean, it's not advertised so much, or it's not put in public too much. But a lot of people like living there and staying there after getting over there, because Japan, if you don't know how Japan is, the people are super polite. The culture is very respectful, and it's totally different than living here in America. So a lot of times I have some friends that went over there for work and they never wanted to come back, to the point where they retired, or they never wanted to come back. So that makes sense. Hilltop's character being enthusiastic about the Japanese culture and trying to embrace it, it makes sense. I don't know if it's like a way for him to overcompensate. It's like, I know I'm black, but I'm with you guys. I'm with you.
No, because even he insists on, he always gives him like Japanese sweets. That's like his other thing too. Yeah. So I almost feel like, I think you're right. It's like some sort of like, hey, I'm part of it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm with you guys. So, and that's the thing. Right now, Jim Carter is freaking out because Jim Carter can't figure out. I just like saying the full name. Jim Carter.
James Carter.
Jim Carter is trying to figure out. It just can't figure out the whole thing. So right now, Commander Hilltop has decided we're just gonna take a nice little break. Get some, we're just, you're going to just get something to drink or oil. I think that's literally what Jim Carter says. He drank, and they're going to relax.
So they had like a little Tin Man type of thing?
A little Tin Man thing.
So he's a robot, but he's got the Tin Man attributes.
Exactly. So that leaves Tsukasa alone with the stuffed shark.
Okay.
Which means we figure out what her deal is.
Yep.
It's not that she recognizes the stuffed shark from like some sort of deep childhood story. It's not that she realizes that the stuffed shark is a connection, a real heart. No, Tsukasa has a thing, and it's that she loves stuffed animals.
And it's perfect for her character, because her character is so she's just the way she is. It's just like there's nothing that's she's just like a cop. She's it's hard to describe it. She's just
she's so business oriented.
She's exactly what you'd expect a cop to be.
Right.
Straight to the book. By the book, everything. So this little thing that they introduce it's nice.
It's her release.
Yeah.
She needs something.
Humanizes her a little bit.
She needs something normal.
So that, going back to when she saw it, what really was going on there is like, oh, that thing is so cute, I want to grab it.
It's literally what happened. And that's what I kind of love about it, is that it's not about the case. No, she looks at the shark and
she totally described, oh, there's a missing kid.
Yeah.
That thing is amazing, I want it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why she stops the car initially, because she's like, I want that shark so bad. Yeah. And that's what's super hilarious about the scene with her and the stuffed shark in the police station.
Yeah.
Is that she's like it's like a weird child show twist on the cop who has a thing for femme fatale. It's like, we shouldn't be together.
Or it's like a cop that, there's like a box of Krispy Kreme. There's like,
because the whole way she plays is like, I shouldn't, but I have to, no. But no, and I think my favorite thing is she says, your evidence, I can't, but, oh, I must. And I think my thing I love is about her whole thing about hugging stuffed animals is that her phrase she says before she hugs them is, please heal me. And I'm like, holy crap, that is some deep.
I feel like outside of this episode, we need to dive in a little bit more about her little obsession with these plushies. Because just that phrase, it seems like there's something deep. Like she may have had a rough childhood, or like her parents weren't always there, and the stuffed animals were her. That was her comfort. That was her, her security item that just made her feel happy.
And it's interesting that, here's the thing, they weren't really hiding this fact. If you've been watching the opening credits of the show, that is there. There was a shot of Tsukasa with a stuffed animal hugging it like that.
I didn't even notice that.
So it's been there since episode 2, because that's when they started opening credit sequence.
Yeah.
So it's there. They're not but now the answer is, it's simply like, I like what your theory. That theory makes sense. You're like, I had a really rough childhood, and my parents were there, but my dollies.
Parents were working all the time. Mm-hmm. I sprayed the little stuffed animals with their scent, so they're always with me. Some kind of security blanket type of ordeal. So.
Yeah. Why don't we go back to the comments real quick?
Okay, where do we leave off?
Let's see here. Lupinranger is the name of the show. Yes. Thomas Rago, Justin, who's your favorite Red Ranger from Sentai or Power Rangers?
That's easy.
Oh yeah. Well, if I said Gokaiger, it's marvelous.
It's marvelous.
If I had a second choice, I would. That's not shocking because I keep talking about Shinkenger. So yeah.
How about for Power Rangers?
Okay, that's a
tough one.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
Because it's easy to say Jason, right?
Yeah.
Because he's the first.
Yeah.
But
I'm thinking. Let me see.
You know who doesn't get a lot of love, and I think he brought a season that I did not like, but I always go, but you know what? I liked him. TJ.
TJ.
He's a kind of...
When we get to TJ, under his leadership, ladies and gentlemen, the command center was destroyed, and they were
fair enough.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think there wasn't enough turnaround time between Tommy and TJ were like,
sure.
I'm going to train you how to do this. I'm going to train you how to do that. I'm going to train you how to keep people out of the command center because that's the #1 rule. Let's not get little piranhatrons in the command center.
I will not disagree with any of those statements you said.
Yes.
I just kind of like, I think I just like Sulin's performance in the show, and I'm like,
Sulin's a great guy.
And
he's
like,
awesome.
he comes through, and I feel like...
How about getting his whole team baked into a pizza? I mean, that's a great leader right
But
now.
that's a great story. He tells it like it's a war story every time they hang out. Did you hear about the time? Yes, we know about the time he got baked into a pizza.
Yeah. Battlestar Galactica says, "Dear Justin Jezzer, I think you two are the best, the beat host ever, and I was not paid or coerced to type this at all."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The beast.
I got your right here. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take Venmo or PayPal?
Yeah. You take Venmo or PayPal. Right,
so
it's for something else. It has nothing to do with the show.
I think for my Red Ranger, I'd have to probably pick. What was the name of the Red Ranger from SPD?
Oh crap, he's good too. And what's it?
Jack.
Jack.
Jack
is good. I'll give you that.
He technically did not ask for the job. It was just kind of put upon him, and the Blue Ranger hated that he was a Red Ranger. I don't know. I think, and he was doing everything that a Power Ranger should be doing. Mm-hmm. He's kind of like the Robin Hood of Power Rangers. And then second probably would be, I liked Leo a lot from Lost Galaxy.
Leo is pretty solid. Yeah.
I liked Leo a lot.
No, hey, he's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I also admit I like Wes's story.
Yeah.
In Time Force a lot.
But he was that rich boy.
That's true.
That was the one thing that kind of made me not so...
It's not relatable whatsoever, but I think his story's pretty good. And I'll even make the daring statement that as much as I liked Time Ranger, the Sentai footage a lot, I think they did a better job with Wes in America.
Oh my god.
That's the few times I'll say the Power Ranger version did a little bit better.
Time Force was great, though.
Time Force
was amazing.
Time Force was really good. Yeah. Anyway, back to the show. So we find out. So Tsukasa does go for it, and she decides to give the love shark a big old hug.
Yep.
And then boom, she did. The shark goes on the ground, and she's gone. Mm-hmm. And what we find out is that it's basically the shark is this bizarre teleporter.
Yeah, it's like some kind of. Like a portal. It's like a portal and sends you somewhere else. Yeah.
No, and so it says, so now Tsukasa she's in a jail cell in a cave where all the other missing people are at, and we find out that basically these people are for sale, as Love Room Shark calls it, merch. So let's point something out in this show.
There's
human trafficking.
Human trafficking. There's police brutality.
Yeah.
Easily, this show is probably not gonna get adapted very quickly. They're gonna have to mull over it for a little bit because there's a lot of stuff in the footage that's just it's not PC enough.
I'm gonna be really surprised how this turns into Power Rangers.
I don't know. I doubt they're gonna do this one. I don't know.
We'll see.
I mean, with the police having their reputation already, it's just gonna be. It's gonna be tough. It's definitely gonna be tough. It's gonna highlight you know, being a thief, or like, okay, so, oh yeah, we should steal things. We should.
I know, no, everything you're saying is 100% on point. But but then I also said, well, they're not going to do Go Busters.
No.
So
did you like when
never say never?
When Go Busters came out, you never assumed that they were going to do that at all.
Well, no, not so much that. Okay, it's not so much that. It's when they skipped Go Busters, and I know how Go Busters didn't do well. Then I went, all right, I guess we're done because it's not going to come up. They're not going to come back to it. And then
obviously they said, oh no, you're wrong, Justin.
Yep.
We're going to go back. We're going to choose this.
There's a crow, and I ate it. So, so Tsukasa is. So she basically gets everyone out.
Yep.
Love Room Jaws grabs her. They have a little fight, and she's basically assuming she's done.
Yeah.
There's no way the rest of the team are going to know that she was able to transfer. Because
she was by herself.
Exactly. So imagine her shock when she sees the other guys.
Lupinrangers!
They come back.
So they've been investigating on their own.
Yeah.
They're like I said, they're both on the same track, just on different sides of the road. And they're all going to the same direction. So it's nice that they came.
No, exactly. The Lupin Rangers found out where they're at because word got... apparently the news is really fast.
Yeah.
So the news apparently...
that is, it's social media and everything.
Yeah, so the news got around to like, so the 16 missing people, they were found in this cave. And that's when the Lupin Rangers like, shoot, let's get over there.
But don't you think the cops should have been there first?
They are. They were there first, technically speaking.
Yeah. Technically.
So yeah, no, they came in, everyone henshin, everyone got to fighting. A cool little bit of business here is Tsukasa kind of saying, hey, Yellow, thanks.
Thank you.
She throws the main gangler at Lupin Yellow so that Lupin Yellow can
get the treasure. Nice. So it's like, I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
And I think that's another proof of where the show is gonna go. It's like, okay, once in a while they'll do things like, okay, don't tell anybody. I'm gonna help you out here. Okay, fine. So I'll help you out here. Cool. And then that's what they're gonna do every once in a while. Yeah. But don't forget, they're gonna still try to arrest him.
Me. A lot of people here don't like that I love these movies, but it kind of reminds me of Fast and Furious, where
who are those people? I love the Fast and Furious.
Where the Rock's character, how the Rock plays into Victor Dom and his cruise thing.
Yeah. Oh my God! I never put that connection.
Where it's like it's a mutual respect for each other.
Yeah.
As long as you're not overstepping your bounds, I'm gonna let you do your thing.
That's true.
Because you guys are going, you're stealing things. You're stealing things, but you're stealing things that are technically yours. That's what I feel like. What's going on?
No. So right now, where we're at in the show is Fast 5.
Fast 5.
Where they're still at each other's throats.
Where they're still going at each other. But then there's this light at the end of the tunnel. It's like, maybe they're not so bad.
Yeah. So yeah, no, exactly. When I will announce the moment on the show where I feel like we got to Fast 6.
Fast 6.
So let's keep that in mind. But right now we're in Fast 5. Right now it's sweaty Vin Diesel fighting sweaty.
How did we get from Super Sentai to Fast and the Furious? It all comes full circle, doesn't it?
I feel like the line between Fast and the Furious and Tokusatsu is very thin. Especially when you get to the bit where, a submarine is chasing them.
There you go. So it's not so far off.
Not so far off. They just need a robot and aliens.
Yeah, exactly. And the way that Fast and Furious is going, I'm gonna assume that that's gonna happen.
Oh no.
There's gonna be a robot.
Guaranteed. That's
gonna be a robot.
Fast 10 in space. Okay, back to the episode. We also get the return of Goody.
Yeah. Oh, I love that scene. I love the scene because you have two teams standing right next to each other.
Yeah.
Like, they're not trying to go at each other. They're just standing next. And then you got Goody come in there, and he's just like, He can't decide who he wants to choose. He's like, I got you guys last time. I'm going to go back this way.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the cops.
He's going back and forth. Mm-hmm. That's a robot that I can't trust. If you flip-flop that quickly, that's a robot you can't trust.
I'm curious. I wasn't sure how I felt about the idea of this sort of weird middle ground character. Because I was like, okay, so they're going to flip-flop and everyone's going to be cool with it. But I think this episode kind of found a way to make me go, oh, I get it. Yeah. Oh, I get it. Okay, so that's how you're gonna do it. So it's like Goody will just do what Goody does.
Yep. And he's I think he said that a few episodes like,
yeah,
I'm gonna do whatever I want.
That's true, and that's kind of what happened here. Is that like while he's with the Patranger Rangers and their robot, the Lupin Rangers say, hey, we'll help them. So they get into their planes, they fire back, and Goody's like, you guys are so cool. I'll go combine with you again. And then he leaves the Pat Rangers. They go fall to the ground. And then he combines with the Lupin Rangers again.
Yeah.
They have a Lupin Ranger robot song that's got introduced in this episode.
I didn't hear
Oh, yeah. Give it another go later. There's a theme song for the robot.
I really love the robot. I love how, at least for the Pot Rangers, it reminds me, like we said before, it reminds me a lot of Deca Ranger.
Yeah.
The way it moves, the way it's proportioned. I think there's a reason for that. They wanted to go back to that. I think I like their Zord better than I like the Lupin Ranger Zord.
I was going to say, which one do you lean further? You lean closer to the Pat Rangers.
I like the swagger and like how cool the Lupin Rangers are.
Yeah.
But I like the Zord of
the Pat Rangers. I think I'm with you on that. I think I don't know what it is, but like the rollerblading element and the baton kind of is intriguing
gun,
to me. Gun, but but Lupin Rangers also have a really big ass gun too, so they're not
like
they're
a
not
rifle.
Yeah.
They got a rifle.
Episode ends. We're back at the cafe where the butler is getting the collection and
Still don't trust that motherfucker.
No, don't.
Don't trust that. Don't turn your back on him because he disappears in a second. Don't trust that guy. Do not.
No, I totally agree with that. And we go back to the police station, and this is my favorite part. We go back to the police station, and we see that Jim Carter was actually filming Ichigo and Pechinigo rubbing their faces on the shark because we see how they did it. How did they travel over there? And so there was video footage of them rubbing their faces on the shark, and they were like, "We didn't know you were filming us. It's for research, guys."
The Red Ranger always finds himself in like weird positions.
Literally, in the last episode, he was in a weird position.
I don't know. I think I'm enjoying the way the show is going so far.
Agreed. Also, the kind of news. How did we find out about? Well, how like Tsukatsu's like, how did you even know about rubbing your face in the shark? And this is my favorite thing. Pat One was like, that's what you do, right? And she's like, what? And it's this realization that he caught her at Academy doing the same thing with one of her stuffed dogs. And he doesn't think much of it. He's like, I get it. That's your release.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
Then let you do your thing.
Yeah.
So I figured, if that's what happened to you, I'm going to probably just do what would the Pink Ranger do? Okay.
Yeah. That's what I love about it so much. Is like he's like.
So you know now that they are in sync. Like they are just they're intertwined. They're really close, and that's nice. That's cool. Mm-hmm. It's cool to have. She's gonna be the balance to his to how he really is.
Exactly.
If you could give the episode out of the what episode was this for?
Episode 4, yeah.
If you can rate. Like, which one do you think was your favorite episode
so far?
So far.
Oh, it's so early. Mm-hmm. I will say. What I love most about this episode is that I'm starting to see the potential where the show can go, and
so early in the series, that you can see how they're gonna play off each other.
Yeah,
and so that's nice. I do, but I still I don't want them to team up yet. I still want them to be doing what they're doing, but maybe the Pot Rangers not be so critical on trying to catch the Lupin Rangers.
Agreed. It's almost like it would be cool if they can do it like what they did with Abba Ranger.
Yeah.
In which Abba Ranger White didn't really even join the team till literally the last episode. Yeah. He was always an antagonist.
That would be nice.
That would be cool. I don't know if they can do it. I don't know if they'll do that.
Maybe a few team ups when they know that the gang is a little too much for one team to handle. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be interesting when we get that 6th Ranger or 7th Ranger.
7th Ranger. That's right.
It's going to be interesting to see how he plays, how that comes into play.
I agree. Okay, moving on.
Oh my god.
So, okay, we're going to talk about Kamen Rider Build, episode 25. Hey, you want to explain to the audience how
you guys don't even
how you
know.
caught up?
So, as many of you don't know, that I was placed on this show because we needed someone to, like, I was interested in seeing Lupinranger VS Patranger, but I've never seen, up until 2 days ago, or up until yesterday, I've never seen Kamen Rider Build. I don't know if it was apparent in the last stream when Johnny and Justin were talking, but I was just kind of like, that's really cool.
That sounds good, guys.
Yeah, just kind of nodding and agreeing, yeah. So yesterday, not even yesterday, it was like last night, around like 9 o'clock, I decided to start it. So I got on the website, started watching, and then I started it. I got 12 episodes in before I passed out. Knocked out. I was done. I don't know. It's probably like maybe almost 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Passed out. Woke up in the morning like at 8 o'clock in the morning. We had a late call time for the studio, so I was like, I think I can do this. It's like, Justin's gonna need me today, so I think I can do this. So I got the last 13, 14 episodes and just binge watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
And literally, it was like a Kamen Rider overload. Like, I was just like, so many things were going on and so many emotions were going on. Like the one where I was just like, what the like, just super mad is the reveal of who Stalk was.
Yep.
And I was just like, what? Like, so pissed off. There's so many, like, this past few hours, I'm not going to say day or so, these past few hours have just been an emotional roller coaster. And I can't even.
You mainlined Kamen Rider Build.
Yeah, I cannot even.
You were like Barney in that one episode of The Simpsons, was just pointing through my face.
I can't even describe what's going on through my head right now. I'm just like, what is going on? So many different colors, so many different combinations, perfect match. It's so much.
I'm gonna try my best to kind of condense it and
just
control it.
Yes. It's gonna be easier now. There's one episode.
So, yeah, we'll be good. Don't worry. Yeah. I got you, and you're gonna get this. You're gonna go through this. You'll be fine. Episode 25, which is called The Idol's Awakening.
Yes. Continues on from the last episode
with Misura's newly revealed superpower.
Yeah,
thing.
she's kind of like Neo. She's like, she is the Nero of Kamen Rider. Like, we have yet to tap into what abilities she actually has.
Right.
Because it doesn't, I mean, we got the healing stuff, but she can manipulate the wall.
Yeah.
Or
she can manipulate the wall.
Yeah.
She can make a hole in the wall.
Yeah, so there's no more going to that one road. You don't never have to go back. You could just literally go to any place in the wall. It's like, all right, take care of it. All right, cool. They could just go in and out of each district or each world. So that was pretty cool. I don't know, was she aware? Like, was she all there when she was doing all this stuff?
It seems like she sort of was like, she has a basic idea. She doesn't seem like, she has a mild idea of what happened to her when she wakes up from all this. And it is kind of wild because everyone in the gang is just looking at her going,
like, what? Like, everybody literally stops. They stop fighting. They stop doing, Sento and Banjo are getting their asses kicked. She comes in. She's not even wearing any shoes. I think they even mentioned it in the intro. Like, she's not even wearing any shoes.
Like, to the point where I was like, her feet's going to get hurt all over the grass. It's like, is that the conversation you want to have right now?
And she just throws them all out the way. So that was interesting. That was really interesting.
So right now, Misura's we kind of learned some interesting things about Misura's process of the purifying the bottles. And one of the neat things we discover is that she says, like, I see this destruction of Mars.
Yes.
And right before I purify the bottle, and that's what allows
motivation a little bit, because we never really see what's going on inside that little
her little fridge machine thing.
And so she's. I probably miss it. Is she in there, like, doing something?
It seems like she's kind of emitting some kind of energy in there that will allow the bottles to be purified so that they can use it for build and cross. But she sees this sort of intense destruction of Mars, and she wills good to be used to kind of counterbalance the intensity of that.
And another interesting thing, I mean, it's from past episodes where... the only reason that Kamen Rider Build was made or put together is to get her to purify more bottles. Right. So in a way, the story isn't so much about these Kamen Riders; it's about her.
It can be, yeah. You're right.
I feel like she's the key to all this. We'll get to what happens at the very end of the episode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She's definitely the key to all this. So she plays a bigger role than we know, which is interesting.
Agreed. Let's go quickly to the chat right now.
Okay.
So we got Layla is like, I need to know why I haven't watched Kamen Rider Build. Jezzer just did it in one day. You can pull it off.
You can do it. It is literally okay. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. For some of the fight scenes in the suits, I did fast forward a little bit to it because it gets to. I mean, it's cool. It's very cool. It just I'm more excited to hear about the story than I am to see the actual fight scenes. It's just it's second to what the story is amazing. The story, it's. Honestly, it's this show. This show is better than some of the American TV, like superhero shows that we have on TV.
Oh yes,
it is.
I'll agree to that.
Like anything that CW can put out.
Oh yeah,
this is a CW caliber show.
Yeah,
I mean it's with the Kamen Rider suits. Probably wouldn't be on CW because it's so out there.
Right.
But if they were to tone it down a little bit, the story is so sound. It's so great.
Yeah. And it feels like they're going somewhere with it.
Yes. And every episode, like you guys said, every episode, there's no fillers.
No fillers.
No fillers at all.
No.
I mean, there's fun little scenes here and there, which is great, but there's no fillers. So yeah, if you decide you want to binge watch it, you're not going to be disappointed. This is
high quality stuff.
Yes. Yeah. This is. I mean, listen. What is it? Lupinranger and Patranger. It's great. It's a good show. Same with Kyuranger. They're also good. But this is to a different degree. And you said this is also aimed towards kids as well?
It's still a kid's show, technically.
They have some scenes in there. Like the very first episode with the Prime Minister's son where he's like, let's talk about this more at the hotel. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, this
Hey, I'm not.
So it's so good, and every character, apart from like what's her name, Sawa,
the reporter, spy.
Everybody has like a deep story. Sawa is not. I mean, they kind of just breezed over that she was a spy.
I would kind of say that as much as I like her, and I do like the character, I do feel like the show forgets they have her.
Yes.
So, and which is kind of, I guess it's one because they're balancing a lot of folks out. They have Sento, they have Misora, they have Banjo, they have
who's
Grease.
Connected? Like as far as like romantically connected?
It's kind of
Is it Sento and Misora?
It's sort of they're kind of sort of maybe.
Yeah.
But they're definitely in this sort of understanding.
I feel like that's the only reason that Sawa, her character, is going to be around.
Right. I don't know if there's any real hardcore romantic stuff going on in this. They tend to not do that in a lot of these shows.
Except for Grease.
Except for Grease. Well, Grease loves Mitan, not Misora. And
that scene, man.
I think I saw Ron Cordova point out like Mitan is like the popular YouTuber character. Or
that was
like
great.
Twitch or something like.
That was great. It was just great seeing, or not great, but it was sad seeing Grease. What he had to go through. Yeah,
but that's the thing. Everyone went through some shit.
Something. Yeah, everybody went through something.
Yeah.
And Sento.
Oh, by the way, I agree with the last comment. The ship is Sento and Banjo.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah. Sento went through some shit. Like his whole world is just crumbling, and he feels like this whole war is because of him.
Right.
This is the whole reason. He's like. Whatever he did, or I mean, technically, it's not him. It's not. Right. It was his past life or whatever. It's technically not him. But like I was saying, where was I going? The main story revolves around these main characters, and everybody goes through something, and which is great. Even Rogue. Yeah. Even Rogue.
Gentoku goes through some interesting stuff in this show. Yeah.
The reason that he's where he is right now is because, like, when I was watching, I thought he was gonna turn on. It'd be good. They were helping each other for a while, and then Misora healed his dad, and so I thought he was gonna be good. So I was surprised when they showed the new Kamen Rider Rogue.
Yeah.
Who it was actually? I was like, oh, what? Come on.
Yeah. And he's so broken. That's why I'm intrigued by where Gentoku's at right now.
And I can see some redemption coming his way. Right. Like, it's not like I don't really see a villain in the show.
The closest is Isurugi, but even then I feel like there's something.
Yes, even Isurugi, in this episode, Sento confronted him and pretty much accusing him of messing with his daughter.
Yeah.
Or like doing experimenting on her.
Yeah.
And he straight up said, I would never do that. That's not what it is. So it's all just in conjunction with her interaction with the Pandora's box.
Right. I kind of want to go one comment I caught that's from Crab Stomp. It's early Heisei quality. If any of y'all watch that, and I could actually agree to that because I've.
Is that what you mentioned the last episode
about it kind of familiarizing, feeling like another Kamen Rider shows? Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Kamen Rider early Heisei Rider shows I've watched. I finished Kamen Rider Kuga, which I loved, and I'm in the middle of Kamen Rider Akito, which I'm really liking, and I definitely see Build. Actually, I see a lot of parallels. I said this before, but I see a lot of parallels between Agito and Build in that there's a lot of similar.
You said that wasn't a good sign for Misori.
Well, yeah, it may or may not. We'll see. Because Mana, the character in Agito, is going through some stuff right now. So with Misora, we'll see how that works out for her. Their storylines are. There's a similarity to their storylines, but I feel like this show is doing something that they didn't do in Agito. Okay. Yet? I don't know. I haven't finished Agito, so we'll see.
So going back to the story.
Yes. Well, right now, we're at the point where it's like, okay, so they have the Pandora's box again. So
that thing just keeps going.
Everyone's got the Pandora's box.
It's like, oh, it's such a special relic, but let's just keep throwing it all over the place.
You got the Pandora box now. So right now, the Pandora's box, they decided, okay, there's someone who's clearly giving intel to.
There's a spy.
There's a spy in the midst.
And it's not Sawa.
So our deal right now is like, okay, we need to put the Pandora's box in another spot. So we see Banjo going to different parts of the Toto government saying, okay, we're going to bring the Pandora's box here. We're going to bring the Pandora's box here. And so we go to the Prime Minister's assistant. He's like, okay, this is where we're going to bring the Pandora's box.
He is the person.
And he's like, okay, so did you want us to bring it? Go? No. We'll move it on around. That's too many people involved. We'll take care of it.
Yeah.
So which, of course, that's
how they figure it out.
That's how they figure it out. The breadcrumb is that. We find out that, just to cut to the chase.
Which is smart. The way they did it is smart. So the least people that know, the easier it is to narrow down who's at fault.
Yeah, who's the one giving out the information. And that's how we find out is that, the Prime Minister's assistant is the person who's actually giving out the intel. Because we see I forgot the newer villains. Their names are... Oh, yeah, Remokon.
I just call them the Gear Twins.
They are the Gear Twins, aren't they?
Yeah, they're just assholes.
They're just
assholes.
It's like big bro
Dude,
shit.
I was really just heartbroken when Grease's team was just. I mean, the first one, I felt bad, but that's consequences.
Yeah.
Consequences of what Sento did. And
that's the thing. As when they were introduced, that was a suspicion. Was that they're gonna go, aren't they?
Yeah, because they're like from Star Trek, the red shirts.
Yeah, they're the red shirts. Yeah,
the red shirts.
Well, then that's funny. Guess who goes out last?
Red.
The red one.
Dude, his hair is epic.
Yeah.
His hair is epic.
The show does a really good job of making me care for those three guys, even and making me understand that Grease Kazumi does care for them too, and it's like it is definitely. Like that, I knew that was gonna happen. Doesn't mean I couldn't still get bummed out.
See, when I was watching it, I was like, "Okay, Grease and these guys, these are the bad guys. These are the bad guys going forward." And then, no, not even a few episodes into it, you're just like, "Oh, damn, that they have a story too." And there's so many things going on. So there's each district has 20 bottles.
Yes, that's what they're saying. So kiddies, you have to buy 60 toys.
60 toys. And it gets to a point where one episode, there's just so many. The one episode where Rogue had it in a wall, there's just so many to the point where, I can't keep track anymore. What was what?
It's a bit overwhelming.
But there was one cool one for this episode. One cool combination.
What was that for you?
It was the rabbit rose.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
it's all red.
All red. The rabbit rose, and you use that.
That was a pretty good one. Yeah.
So with Banjo, does he still have the issue where if he uses that power too long, it starts malfunctioning on him?
It seems like it is, but it's like that's why I feel again so I definitely feel like where Misora is gonna come into play. She's gonna definitely feel like she's gonna be the one to start fixing their
little problems.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing that I was kind of thrown off by, there's a scene where Sento is training with the astronaut guy, Stock.
Yeah.
And it goes from that, and then they're fighting, and then a helicopter, and then a fight between Sento and Grease. What happened there? Why? Why? There's a jump. Like, it was a jump. I thought I missed something.
But help me out with that one.
They were fighting each other to see which district would win or whatever.
Was that the?
That's the one where Missouri had the
kill
switch. So it went from him training with Stock.
Yeah.
And then a green helicopter, and then that.
Oh, I think that was kind of, it was a little sloppy, but that was their way of trying to insinuate, like, he was training with Stock.
Yeah.
To get better acquainted with that sector.
With that set of bottles.
Yeah. So it's kind of, that was their shorthand.
They went straight to the fight. Like, there's no lead up into the.
Yeah.
So I was a little confused by that.
So it was a little
I thought maybe I missed something, but I guess you guys saw it the same way.
No, it's a little sloppy on that. The episode does end with Gentoku
going to
Gentoku steals the Pandora's box.
Yes.
And Misora comes in. Sento feels like he still needs to use the hazard trigger. But again, it's always a case of, okay, so whenever I use it, one of y'all gotta knock me out.
But he has to hit that switch first.
Well, it's this weird thing where it's like he uses the hazard smash trigger. And then he's fine. And then something in his brain gets turned off. And then, like, I think it's more like an automatic, his finger presses this button to finalize the process. I don't even think that's really him doing it. I think that's just, and then I do this, and he goes into this unstoppable monster killing mode. That's where Misora comes in again, because she basically realizes, if I have this ability to heal, maybe I could be super helpful to you guys. And
she puts herself in danger.
She does.
Banjo blocks whatever was going on.
Yeah, again took a shot to try to shoot Misora, but Banjo kind of took the hits. And then Sento, very scarily, he looked very freaky when he just looks.
It's not even him. He's not even there. It's like kind of like a werewolf or whatever, where they're not in their mind. They're feral. So he's just looking at her, and he just grabs her.
And then something interesting happens in this. Something concerning Misora's abilities. All of a sudden, one of Sento's eyes.
Yes. Which one was that?
It was the tank that turned into another rabbit mode. So the tank eye turns into another rabbit eye. So now they're the same color and the same shape. So what does that mean? I don't know.
Is she able to? She's already purified the mixes, the little bottles.
Yeah.
Is she able to modify them again?
That's something we might find out.
So maybe modifying it messes up with the hazard mixture or something?
Maybe it's there. If you've been kind of paying attention, there are some sort of rumored toys that are coming around, or the new suits, so that might be the answer. But I'm going to wait till we actually get to the show, and I'll talk about those. But yes, those are the first real hints of what her abilities might mean to maybe purify their broken powers.
Yeah.
And that
was okay. So was the hazard trigger? Was that the only thing? Like they couldn't keep training to be stronger.
I think so. That's how they play.
They're capped off. They're capped off at that level.
Yeah.
So the hazard thing is the only thing that puts them over the edge. But why does the hazard thing give the smashes? The end point and not Sento.
Because Sento's the whole thing was that Sento's process of becoming Kamen Rider is a lot different from them becoming Smashes. Like he had to go through it's from what I can tell, because my little like no prize theory is that his process is different because he needs a belt to turn into the rider. The Smashes always use a bottle to turn into Smashes. So Sento has, I would argue, a more purified way of turning into things, so it's not.
So the trigger.
The trigger's a way to amp it up more, but with the brothers, the three Smashes, it's a little bit harder for them to kind of maintain it. That's my theory. They don't really say any of that in the show. That's just me being a nerd. Okay, so that's Build.
That is Build. It's great. I mean, to be honest, this episode, I felt like it could have been just part of the last episode. There's not much storyline going on. It's a continuation of last week's episode.
Agreed. Yeah. But still solid.
But still good. Good. Yeah, I still see some redemption for Rogue. Mm-hmm. I don't think this is the end of the road for him. And I think, like, I really can't. There's no definitive villain in the show. Like, it's not. Yeah. I mean, even Stock has some signs of him still having his humanity.
I agree.
And his whole goal was just, he wanted to continue on. I mean, he was infected. Pretty much, he was infected. His mind was infected when he was on Mars or whatever. It's
not out of the question for a writer's show to introduce a surprise. Here's the real villain in Act 3.
Yeah.
Gaim kind of did that, which I really thought they did a really good job with that. So don't be surprised if all of a sudden around episode 30,
what if it's
40,
the main two? If it's either Banjo or Sento. I can see Sento be like Banjo, like going and becoming the almighty good guy, and then Sento,
they could, that's a possibility. I don't know if they'll go there yet. Like, maybe because it seems a little familiar. We'll see. It's possible. I think there's something to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we? Before we wrap up, we got some comments from last week's episode.
Cool.
So I'll go ahead and start.
Okay.
Bhumika Mitra, awesome review as always. Thanks. Nothing to say about Build. It's good as always. I figured out that Raptor wore the pink Q Ranger jacket even before she became a Q Ranger. I wonder why she did that. Just by chance, if anyone else became Washi Pink, she might have to lend her jacket. It's fair. I mean, true.
Wait.
She's kind of just referring back to Q Ranger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is nothing to do about the Lupin versus Pat, but I mean, I'm sure she's got. What? They don't have extra jackets on that ship. I mean,
yeah. She was like, oh, I'm pink. So
well, you ever heard the term dress at the job you want to wear? I want to be. So she's like, dress how the job you want to get and want to be. That's her deal. It's like, I'm gonna.
Smart way of looking at it.
I'm gonna be pink.
Okay, Ryan or Wizard Rider Thomas says, great Henshin Hangout, guys. Jezzer and Johnny Parker and Justin and I really love this episode of 3 of Lupinranger and Patranger. Enjoy it. Give it a 6 out of 6. And great Henshin Hangout. Show you did a nice job today. Ryan Earl Thomas from Arizona. Peace.
Thank you, Ryan.
Peace.
And then Yuraka Senpai, it's been 3 episodes and you haven't updated the name to Lupinranger versus Patranger. Oh, yeah. Toei confirmed how to write the show in English weeks ago.
Cool.
We fixed that?
Thank you for that. Your check is in the mail.
What if it's, hey, it can't be the internet without someone pointing out spelling it.
Yeah.
Right? I feel that's just part of the deal.
Patranger.
Why don't we jump into the comments, see who we got left.
Grease Lightning. I like that, Edward Sanchez. Grease Lightning.
Jared asked, Justin, who's your Kamen Rider from past and present? My first Kamen Rider was Kamen Rider Zeto, and my boys is Kamen Rider Forze. So he's the writer that got me back into getting into Tokusatsu and Kamen Rider, and why I'm now one of the guys who talk to you guys on the show.
Nice.
And let's see. I feel mature Tokusatsu shows like Build are. This is from Ron Cordova. I feel mature Tokusatsu shows are Build are made for children to watch while their kids play with toys.
That is a good. It's like, I'm gonna watch something while you guys play. Oh, so the parents watch the civilian stuff,
right?
And then when they get into the Kamen Rider suits, then that's when the kids, chime in.
If the parents have to watch these shows with their kids, it would. That's kind of the thing where I feel like right for everyone.
Yep.
Kids can enjoy it.
Because the story is good.
Yeah.
This it's like a sci-fi show, and mix in a little bit of Tokatsu.
Yeah, I agree. You don't have to be super simple and not tell a good story. Like that. parents can be as invested in these shows as much as the kids.
I liked it.
Ronald points out there are villains in the show. They're written really well. I mean, they are, but there's just
that's what I'm saying. They're written so well where the villains are like honestly, these villains are better than I don't know about better, but Marvel villains where their motivation. They have motivation. They have backstory. They have. I mean, compared to some of the villains that we've had in Marvel, you know,
like Malekith and Dark.
Yeah,
that's my go-to of bland Marvel villains. He doesn't do anything for me.
From that Hulk movie, the
Abomination. Ronan from Guardians. I love Guardians, but Ronan's kind of bland.
Dude, he was terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of him at all.
Yeah. No.
So these villains, they have a backstory, and like I said, when we on the Power Ranger show, they should have more villains like this instead of like suit actor villains, like
faces you can connect to.
Yes. Yeah. Someone you want to connect to both. You want to connect to the heroes and the villains, and you want to see both sides.
He brought up Rancic, which is I feel
Rancic
like
is great. Yeah.
A very a good one to bring up because he does really work. Really, really well.
Kamen Rider did a great job with their cast.
Yeah.
Everybody everything was great. One of my favorite episodes is the episode where Banjo takes Missouri on a date or whatever, and they're walking, and then the random girls, the fans hear her voice, and then they attack these random girls. I'm like, oh, let's get out of here. There's some great episodes there when they didn't want to break to Missouri that her dad was stalked. Yes. So they're like, oh, Banjo's gonna take you on a date. And he's like, no, what are you doing?
I love the last scene with Misura and Isurugi before he leaves.
Yes.
It's super heartbreaking.
And that's what's great about the show. There's so many, like, it's not, the show doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm sad, oh, I'm mad. You really have to, like, you feel invested in these characters. You feel like, oh man, I mean, it must suck being what she's going through. It suck what he's going to. His whole world is colliding because he's the doctor. He's the death scientist. I don't know. It's good.
Welcome to the Kamen Rider Build.
I do not regret binge watching this. It's a great show, and honestly, I'm enjoying it a lot more. I mean, I like the Super Sentai, but I like the story of this. It's great. It's very colorful. It's appeasing to the eye. I like the setting of like this post-apocalyptic. It's not post-apocalyptic.
It's like utopia
type world, and the division of these. It's good. Like when you guys explained it, I was like, oh, this isn't intriguing. You just have to sit down. I think the fact that it's 23. I had to go through 25 episodes was a little like jarring.
Don't do that.
I'm looking at it. It's like looking at the wall that divides their. It's like I can't get over this wall. How am I going to do this? And I just found myself with some extra time yesterday.
I want you guys to watch the show. I advise you to not do what Jezzer did. That's.
I was on a time crunch. I felt like I was a little on a time crunch. So I think I started. JD texted me yesterday. Oh, Johnny's not going to be on the show, and I was like, oh, well. Maybe I should start watching. That's that time, whatever time that was the time that I started. And literally, I'm just, I had the laptop on like this little desk next to my bed. I'm just going like this. It's like, And then I started speeding it up a little bit.
You messaged me too, and like on like Facebook Messenger, and all you wrote was 15 /24.
15 out of 25. I'm almost.
And I didn't quite understand what that meant at first because I feel like you're up to episode 15. Okay, and I didn't know you haven't seen any of it yet, so I didn't realize you pumped it through your veins.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm gonna finish it.
Oh my gosh!
It's like hitting that hazard trigger, man. That's how I felt.
Yeah, no, that's you.
He's like where he's just standing there like
Jezzer Hazard.
That was me this morning. I was just like,
I'm gonna stay away from you when I see you look like that. That's my warning sign.
It was great.
Okay, we're gonna review Lupinranger VS Pat this episode. Lupinranger 5.
Pat. I'll give it a 4.
A 4?
I'll give it a 4. Yeah.
4. I'm with you on that. That's a solid 4.
Yeah, there's still a little bit more. They could have gave me, but I'm fine with what they provided this week.
Yeah, I'm with you on
that. There's plenty more to go, so I'm fine with that.
And then for Build.
For Build for this episode, I give it a 3.5 only because there wasn't it felt like a continuation of the last episode. It wasn't. Yeah, it's not bad. I'm saying that's 3.5 out of 5. also, I wanted more.
I'm easy. I'm with you. Like I did this like 2. You guys like 3.5.
Yeah.
4.
I mean, there's some with Build like especially. I've watched all of them, so I mean, out of all, I'm comparing it to all of them.
Yeah.
It was good. It was, there's that sad scene with the smash and everything. So yeah, I want to see more. I want to see where they're gonna go with this. And now the whole conflict is Sento. Sento is definitely the conflict. It's not so much. I mean, other than Rogue being super strong, the whole problem that they have is finding a way to hone in on Sento's little problem. Yeah,
and we'll see how that turns out next episode. Awesome. Okay, so let's just say who still got in the chat room. Jared Hodges, he's kind of similar to our review, 4 and 3. Layla, 4 for Sentai, and she hasn't watched Build. Well, again, if you want to, don't do what he did.
If you have time, spread it out. Spread it out. Maybe do 5 episodes a day.
That's good. Yeah, 5 a day.
5 is a good, because it's about 20 minutes each.
And there's 25 eps, so that you'll done in a week. 5 days.
You'll be done in a week, and it's fine. Like honestly, you'll start it and you'll be like, I kind of want more. I'm kind of itching for more. That's. I was like, I told myself, I'll do half the season. That way, I'll know a little bit of what's going on. But then I was like, I want more.
Any more of those Kamen Rider builds?
We do not endorse narcotics or drugs or anything like that.
But we do endorse you watching these shows.
Yeah,
so and our show. While you're here. Okay, so thank you guys for watching.
Yeah. Listen, you guys, one thing that I cannot stress enough, please share this YouTube channel with as many people that you share the same interest with, because the more of us there are, the stronger we are, the better we are. Everything's just going to be better that way. So if you know people that are into Power Rangers or into superheroes or Sentai or Kamen Rider, share this with them, because, look, this chat room, we got maybe, a good 10 people in here. I want to see hundreds of people in here.
Yeah.
Hundreds of people with the same interest. So be sure to share this, like, on all your little Power Ranger group pages, all your Sentai group pages. Share this as much as you can. Share this channel as much as you can, because if we have more people, it's just going to be great. It's just going to be better. You'll see.
I know there's more of you out there.
There is.
And it grows every time.
There is more of you at a Scott Zillner show.
Yeah.
There's a ton of you. So
I remember my first Morphicon to my last Morphicon, and the amount of people that were there, not just for Power Ranger stuff, they were there for Tokusatsu stuff, keeps growing.
So share it. I cannot emphasize that enough.
Yes.
We don't want you to keep us a secret. We want you to share us with everybody, so you guys could all relate with each other and, have fun in this chat room. So also, let's go back. If you enjoyed talking in this chat room, be sure to join THS hashtaggers on Facebook, where you can continue the conversation about this episode. Someone post up right now, hey, what did you guys think about the shows they talked about on Henshin Hangout? And then we'll just continue the thread there. Yeah. So join THS hashtaggers. That'd be great. Also, subscribe to that hashtag show.
Heart smash this episode.
Yes, very like
hazard smash.
Also, Pop Culture Renegades. We're gonna have some great content going on over there too, and we are also on Twitch, like 6 days out of 7 days a week. So if you guys like gaming, if you like all that, go on there and follow us there, because they are working hard playing the games that you like to watch. So let's show a little support, you guys.
Yeah.
We're a big family. We need to show some support for the hashtag family. Also post everything that you find interesting on THS hashtaggers. I pretty much go through hashtaggers probably once or twice a day to see what kind of stuff is going on there. So if you guys post something there, we'll look at it. Definitely.
Absolutely.
So we also next up later on we have After Dark with Joe and Migdalia. So be sure to tune into that. And tomorrow we got Retro Ranger wrap up. So be sure to tune into that. One more thing, we have Bippity Boppity News on Facebook, where they do all the Disney stuff. Rob just came out with his 5 for 5 on Wrinkle in Time. So if you haven't seen that, be sure to like that. Give Rob a little message in the comments. Say how good he's doing. So yeah, thank you. thank you for poisoning my brain with Kamen Rider Build.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You can find me on social media at Twitter, on Twitter at Justin Quizon.
Right below, right there?
Right there, yeah. And then on Instagram at Justin Quiz. I have my 2 podcasts. I have my Benview on Spielberg podcast, and which is my monthly Spielberg podcast about Steven Spielberg movies. We haven't recorded yet because the movie's not out, but we will be doing Ready Player One when it comes out. Also, I'm doing a remake. I also do a remake podcast called Nothing New. And yes, also I too will be talking about A Wrinkle in Time.
Did you watch it?
I did. I saw it last night, and I will be watching the 2004 Disney movie
who's
that
in it?
Alfred Woodard is the biggest name.
Who?
See, no one saw this one for a reason.
I didn't even know it existed.
That's what I keep hearing, and you'll find out on my show how bad or good it is.
Be sure to check that out. I want to hear what you have to say about Wrinkle in Time.
And hey, if you're here and you love Tokusatsu,
a good place for you to post it. You could post it on THS hashtaggers.
That's
so
true.
Then we could get the direct link and listen to it ourselves.
And yeah, obviously you're here because you love Henshin heroes, Tokusatsu heroes, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai. I have a comic book that I co-created with a friend.
What?
That's for free.
What?
On Tumblr, Facebook, and Twitter. It's called Shining Yuusha. Find it there. It's a free comic. You can't beat the price.
Free.
Oh, and then the link is in the subscription. Awesome. So thank you. That's a lot easier than me just asking.
You can find me on all social media at Jezzer Zeus. It's the same everywhere. So send me a message, send me a like. I will be sure to reply. Yeah. Thanks for watching, you guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to keep up to date with everything trending in geek pop culture.